Have you ever stepped into an opportunity and suddenly felt like you didn't belong there? Like eventually someone was going to realize you weren't supposed to be in that position? That feeling had happened to some of the most significant people in Scripture. Take Peter, for example. When Jesus first calls him, Peter responds in a surprising way. In Luke 5, after witnessing the miraculous catch of fish, Peter falls down and says, "Depart from me, Lord, for I am a sinful man." Now think about that moment. Jesus is calling him into a new level of purpose, and Peter's first reaction is to disqualify himself. His identity hadn't caught up with the calling. Now look at Esther. When Mordecai tells her to approach the king and potentially save her people, her first response isn't confidence. Her first response is hesitation. She understands the opportunity, but she also feels the risk and the weight of it. Her position as queen created influence, but internally she still had to grow into the identity required to act. Then look at Paul. Before becoming one of the most influential voices in early Christianity, Paul had a past that haunted him. He had persecuted believers. In 1 Corinthians 15, he even says, "I am the least of the apostles." Yet at the same time, he was carrying one of the most significant assignments in the New Testament. That tension between calling and identity is something many people experience. Your life begins to move into new spaces, but internally you're still carrying the identity from an earlier chapter of your life. Psychology describes a similar experience called imposter syndrome, where capable people feel like they don't deserve their success or the position that they're in despite clear evidence that they do. In other words, your life may begin expanding into a new season, but your internal identity hasn't fully adjusted yet. And when that happens, the mind starts producing thoughts like, "I don't belong here. I'm not ready. Someone else would do this better." But Scripture consistently shows something important. God often calls people before the identity feels ready. Peter eventually becomes a leader in the early church. Esther becomes the one who saves her people. Paul becomes one of the most influential teachers of the gospel. In every case, the calling came first. The identity growth followed. So if you've ever felt uncomfortable stepping into a new opportunity, the real issue might not be your ability. It might simply be that your life has moved into a new level and your identity is still catching up. And that's exactly what we work through inside Identity Reset. It helps people rebuild their internal identity so they can actually walk confidently in the things they've been called to do. If that resonates with you, comment reset and I'll send you the details.